It takes roughly 1,000 gallons of fresh water to make 1 pound of ground beef. Yes, you heard me correctly. 1,000 gallons of fresh water. Nearly half of all of the United States fresh water is used for raising animals to slaughter. And with a combination of fecal water contamination from our farms and the plethora of maltreatment, malnourishment, and malpractice that are abundant in the meat industry, I'm surprised that no one has done what Memphis Meats is currently doing any sooner. Memphis Meats is an up-and-coming meat production company, but is nothing like anything that any of us are used to. Memphis specializes in synthetic, lab-grown meat. And now everyone's first reaction to that is, ew, fake meat, no one's ever going to want that, but there is nothing fake about it. This isn't some Beyond Meat veggie or black bean burger substitute or some tofu with charbroiled flavor built into it, but this is a signature culture of actual cultivated fat and muscle cells from healthy cattle and livestock that is cloned to form actual 100% USDA prime. The only difference between this meat and the 99-cent patties that America is stuffing their faces with on a daily basis is the lack of overused antibiotics and the fact that it is 100% slaughter-free. In today's political, economical, and environmental climate, global climate change and the future of our Earth has begun to govern a majority of the conscious and progressive decisions that our country inevitably has to make. One of the biggest problems that our country is facing is the food industry. Now, before I continue, I strongly suggest that you all take some time to check out the documentary Food Inc., which touches on the issue of the food industry far better than I ever could. Overfeeding of cheap grain, and what usually isn't grain at all but a fattening agent through subsidized corn, to our livestock is leading to absolutely terrible conditions for the animals. Overfeeding leads to diminished health, which leads to increased infection, lack of ability to move, more exposure to feces, and a significantly large cocktail of antibiotics. Not only are we using up our freshwater supply on something unnecessary, but we are putting the health of the people of the United States at risk, as well as the well-being of these animals, but the economy calls for it. The people ask for meat at a low price, and this is what they get. The veil that is the dollar hamburger from McDonald's simply shrouds the malfeasance that remains virtually undetected by the entire country. Cheap meat is the American dream. There's no denying it, and I am a member of the masses. One of my guilty cravings is a couple McDoubles from McDonald's, large fries, and a drink, and all of it costs me less than $6. And with this stuff at our disposal, people aren't sincerely going to push for a change. It could threaten our way of life, so we sit back and play part in the system that funnels money into the fast food industry's pockets. Of all the chicken farms in the country, over 80% of them are run by a collection of just 4 companies. McDonald's is the #1 beef buyer in the United States. With this kind of hold on the market, fast food companies can cut any corners or regulations that they see fit because the competition is non-existent. Without a way to stop people from buying cheap meat, there's nothing we can do to stop it. Now let me reacquaint you with Memphis. It is just the beginning. As a beginning company, their first burger cost them nearly $1,000 in production value, and it tasted like absolute garbage. With a lack of consideration of the actual cells that go into the meat, the 100% muscle cell meat was absolutely disgusting. Regardless, it was the $300 price of every patty that was even more appalling. With an increase in product awareness and a change in the bioproduction process that actually created the meat, the production price of the Memphis beef patty fell as its flavor skyrocketed. All of which was only attainable by a man named Dr. Uma Valeti. Dr. Valeti is currently forming creative solutions to the problems that we have built for ourselves, and it is something that even the most hard-headed cannot refuse as better than what we do now. The final hurdle will be the price adjustment and economic integration, all of which relies on 2 factors: the lab work itself and us. Our role in all of this is simply a considerate use of our money. When something says that it's cruelty-free, HMO-free, or anything of the sort, even if it costs a little more, simply consider what it is that your purchase is doing. And when Memphis Meats becomes a production that you can go buy off of the shelves, even if it costs an extra $1 or $2, just keep the symbolic and the long-term meanings in mind. 1,000 gallons of water, an unencumbered cocktail of overused antibiotics, a life of cruelty and malnourishment, and a side of fries. Now, we all know that America does not plan on changing if it provides any kind of discomfort. So our only option is to create options. New, unforeseen options that change the game for the better.